Hello, happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the students in the live class and everyone joining later. We're just gonna have kind of an easy day today. So let's get started with some warm-ups, and we'll just kind of move our bodies gently to get going here. So let's start with some wrist circles overhead. Just gently bring your arms down in an arc, slowly circling your wrists as you go. Do another circling, little circles with our wrists and kind of one big circle with our arms. One more. We'll kind of bookend. Let's do ankle circles. And if you need to hang on to anything for balance or sit down, you can just circle your ankles 5 directions one way, or five circles one way, and 5 the other. Just make sure you do a few each direction. And if you're a little tight more one way than the other, that's just fine. Just notice tension in your body as you go. And as we notice tension or discomfort in our body, we don't have to get too focused on it. We can sort of do a meditation. You can repeat some circles, a little extra there. As we notice sensation in our body, we can sort of just let it pass like clouds sometimes rather than fixating on the pain or the discomfort. And of course, you know, if a specific movement is causing pain, just skip it, sit it out. You know, we don't want to do anything to aggravate, but at the same time, if it's a little discomfort, we can just move through that with some grace. Let's move to our shoulders next. Let's just do some small circles back. And you can just, if you want to be still, you can be still, or if you want, you can use your whole body when you do your circles. I kind of like having this nice side to side, involving the whole torso as we go. Then we can do some big arm circles. Again, if you feel like being more still with your feet more stationary, that's fine. I'm just feeling a little side to side movement, again, using my whole body, just being a little flexible and fluid. Not needing to be rigid and in place. That's just what I'm feeling today. We're going to protect our head with one hand, spiral the other to the side, palm up. Repeat that a couple times on each side. You can turn your waist more and go to the back behind you. Again, a couple times on each side. Just a nice stretch with that arm. Then you can go to the front. So circle here. Just feel the space between your shoulder blades. Nice stretch there. A few repetitions. You can widen your stance and we'll just swing side to side. Let our arms be loose, shoulders relaxed. If your hands make contact with your body, that's just fine. Just notice how that feels. And you can make 2 fists. And just on your lower back, about where your kidneys are, just make some small circles. Give yourself a little bit of a back massage there. Just get a little heat, a little circulation there. And as we're going through warm-ups, remember to breathe. You can take deep breaths. You can take normal breaths. Smooth, fluid. Just know that your breathing is happening automatically too, but if we bring our focus to our breath, We can choose to have breath that feels relaxing, energizing. Let's do some hip circles. You can do hands loose or hands on your hips. And let's start by circling the waist on top of the hips first. Try 5 circles each direction. Give or take if you need a little bit more on one side, if you're feeling a little uneven, if you need a little bit more stretch on one side, go ahead and just listen to your body. And then we can isolate the hips and draw a smaller circle with the hips, thinking we push our pelvis forward, side, back, side, front, and just keep drawing that little circle with the pelvis, isolating. You can, lift your toe and your heel or move if you feel the need, and just remember to do both directions. And then let's switch into a bow stance. So from shoulder width, we'll turn one foot out, step forward into a bow stance. And just circle again, circle the hips, kind of pushing forward, feeling a nice little stretch in the hip flexors. Switch feet. Same thing, hands on your hips or hands loose, whatever feels good. And if you're not feeling too dizzy, if you feel like it, you can widen your legs and we'll bend our knees and just lean forward. Just hang, just give yourself a chance for your back to relax and just hold this position for a little while. And instead of supporting yourself with your hands, see if you can just fully allow your back and your neck to relax. If you want to count or focus on your breath, just try to hold and let your body really relax. You can bend your knees or straighten your knees, and then support yourself with your hands and just walk from one foot, hands in front of one foot, hands in front of the other foot. And I'm straightening my knees and just getting a really nice stretch through the back of the legs, but not holding it too long. So I'm going back and forth from foot to foot, just walking my hands, feeling the stretch behind one knee, feeling the stretch behind another knee, just shifting back and forth. You can do a little more or a little less. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and slowly come up. Okay. If you can, shift your weight into one side and see if you can just give a nice little stretch through your leg. If you need to hold something or put your hand out for balance, go ahead. You can try the same thing. Little stretch through the front of the leg. Yep. Same thing on the other side, little stretch through the front of the leg. And I'm going to show you a way to stretch through the back of your leg, through your calf. You can kind of go almost in a cat stance and then put your heel on the floor and just lean forward. And just let yourself kind of hang down with your hands on either side of your foot. You'll probably feel a nice stretch through the back of your knee again. And try to really let your low back relax and release. Try to let your whole back and your neck be soft, relaxed. And you can support yourself with your hands on the floor if you can reach, or you don't have to go that deep. Come up slowly. Same thing on the other side, right? From a cat stance, put your heel on the floor, straighten your leg and slowly lean forward. Feeling a nice stretch through the back of your leg, back of your knee, maybe through your hip on your supporting leg. Really try and relax. Breathe some relaxation into your back, into any tension that you might feel. Take a few deep breaths if you need to. And slowly come back up when you're ready. All right. Let's do a little bit of floor stretching today. It's been a while since we've done that. So you can just lower yourself onto the floor slowly. Adjust your camera if you need to, whatever you need to do. And if you sit, and again, whatever your flexibility is, do the motion within range for you that's comfortable. We don't want to create more pain or more tension. We just want to loosen up the body, relax, get kind of limbered up, and feel ready for the day. So let's do circles at the waist again. You can support yourself with your hands in the middle. We'll just go around 5 circles each direction. You can do fast or slow. Pick a pace that works. Just remember to do both directions. And when you finish with your circles each direction in the middle, you can pick a knee and just put your hands on either side of your knee so that you're facing it. And these can be smaller circles if we're a little tight through the sides, but just again, for a little bit of mobility, circle one direction over your knee. Just kind of relax. You can just say, hello, knee. Thanks for supporting me. Do both directions. And it might seem funny at first, but it's kind of nice to talk to our body parts sometimes and just thank them for doing a good job. I did my right knee first. I'm going to switch to the left. Just do these little circles. Hello, knee. Thanks for doing a nice job supporting me. All right, and when you've done both knees and said hello and thank you to them, hands in the middle again, and we'll complete our circles with just a few more in the middle. Both sides. I hope that, just tell me, I'll try to check and see that you can see me on camera here. Maybe I'll go from this side here. So what we'll do for this one, and if you need a cushion under you or a pillow, my rug ends there. So try to make yourself comfortable if you're on a hard floor. Maybe you can do a mat later if you're watching. You can put something softer down. But just kind of lean back slowly, knees up, right? And just relax here for a minute with your arms out at your sides. Maybe you'll feel your low back settle a little bit. Take a few nice breaths. And what we'll do next, I'm going to cross my right knee over to this side, and I'm going to just rest. And then I'm going to open my hands back up and look the other direction. So my knee and my nose point opposite directions, and I'm just going to relax and breathe into this for a few counts. And I'm going to use my hands to move my knee back up to the center, kind of readjust myself. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, kind of letting my knees fall this way. You can have your bottom leg straight if you like, or you could keep your knees bent. I kind of prefer to keep mine bent, but if you'd like to straighten your lower leg and get a little more stretch, you can do that too. Today, I'm not going to go so far. So let your legs fall to one side, open your arm back up, and face the opposite direction of your knees. So right now my knees point to the right and my nose points to the left, and I'm just going to take some nice breaths. After a few breaths, I'll use my hands to bring my knees back up to center. And we can just repeat that one more time. This time I'll let my knees fall to the left and bring my arm back over and let my nose point to the right. Maybe count 3 or 4 breaths. Go ahead and bring your knees back to center using your hands if you like. Readjust, get your back comfortable on the floor. Let your knees fall to the right. Opening your arms and your nose points to the left. Bring your knees back to center. We can sit up. I'm going to go through a couple more stretches. If there's anything that you're not comfortable with or anything that you need to modify for your body, feel free to not do it or to do less. We don't want to be injured in stretching. We just want to be exploring our bodies and seeing if we can get a little bit more flexibility. And if not, maybe we can do something else or try a different exercise. I just am going to stretch through my hips again a little bit. I have my feet together. If you don't want to go that far, you can go cross-legged, but I'm just going to do this butterfly. And if you wanted to, you could stretch down into it. You could do these small little circles, just kind of exploring. I like the circles because we're moving, so we're kind of exploring into that stretch, but we don't stay and hold it for a long period of time. Again, we don't really want stretching to be painful. I'm going to straighten. Just go to the front, and again, you can kind of go stretch and then come back up. We can do this stretching gradually versus we don't want to force our body into a position that's uncomfortable or painful. We just want to kind of explore and see, can I go a little bit further? Does that feel good? And respecting and recognizing if our body says no, if our body says I have a limitation, just respecting and listening to it. The same way, when we get really tired or really fatigued, if we need to stop and take a break from what we're doing, if we need to stop and take a rest, just respecting and listening to the body's needs throughout today, making that be maybe a goal for self-care, rather than pushing through all the time. Do I have the option to take a rest? Do I have the option to take a break? And learning to say yes to that a little bit more and without guilt. So, and I hope that when you're doing your home routine, you're using some of these exercises that we do and picking and choosing the ones that feel really good for you. I'm going to pop up here into what we would call kind of a deep squat. And this might feel really awkward. This is not something that we do very often, but this is a position that humans used to be in a lot more. So just a little squat. And again, if you can't do it right now, you can just watch and think about trying it later on a different day. But I'm just totally relaxed, trying to let my back be elongated and stretched out. I just want you to see from the side. There's cultures that still, spend time close to the ground and still spend time, maybe they don't, we're very used to using chairs and couches and furniture like that. We don't sit in this position very often. But I would encourage this just to try some different positions for your body, to try to think of other positions that we can be in. If you can be in a deep squat, great. Maybe you're going to get a nice little stretch for your low back. If not, you can modify and try something else. But this is something that I'm trying to integrate into daily practice too, is just being in some of these different positions. And, it's funny how we, as humans, we come up with all these inventions and things, and our furniture is very much usually off the ground. Our toilets are off the ground, but this is a very natural position. And now, rather than being in a deep squat, we are sold things like the squatty potty for toilets, and we're sold these funny props. So we bring our toilets up and then we bring a stool up to try and put ourselves back into a natural position. So it's just sort of an observation, but there are some books, and one of them was 9 Steps to a Pain-Free Back was one of the books that I had read, and it encouraged some of us, some of these natural positions and spending time in them. And again, if your body says no, respect that and try something else. I'm just going to come up slowly. So there's some more stretching options for today. I'm just going to get a little sip of water. And that's just kind of the soapbox that I'm on for today, is self-care and moving slowly. So if we spend more time warming up today, I'm fine with that. All right. Let's do our standing meditation. And this is going to be a review for most of us. Let's just go through our 6 positions. You can do this standing or seated. I'm going to do it standing today. So first hand position, and you can just follow me. Remember to keep your hips tucked under, whether you're seated or standing. Try to keep your spine straight, and you can even feel a little lift maybe through the top of your head. If you're standing, you could almost feel like there's a little string holding you up, holding your spine straight. Not tense, just straight and in good alignment. Second hand position, palms face up about navel height. Remember to relax your neck and jaw and keep your face soft. Third position, hands are about heart height or shoulder height. Elbows down and relaxed. My hands are about heart height, I think, because of the angle on the camera. They seem like they're a little higher. Palms face out about forehead height. Remember to use your core. You can feel some tension or some activation in your abdominal muscles. You can feel a strong core, and you can feel, if you had a pencil between your shoulder blades, you just gave a little tiny squeeze just to hold it there. So you've got a strong core, and you can just feel that space between your shoulder blades and just close it a little bit. That'll help you keep your arms and shoulders relaxed and hold this position. Slowly lower your arms to the sides, about waist height. Last position, palms face forward, arms are relaxed at your sides. A little bit of bend in your elbow. Neck and shoulders, face and jaw, all soft and relaxed. So if you like, for a beginning and ending in some of our movement, there's this little thing that we do. I think it's called like scooping earth and sweeping heaven, something like that. There's a few different names, but I think that you'll see this in a few different movement classes. Just scooping here, right? And I want to do a little bit of review for Ba Gua. We kind of did a lot last week going through all of the 8 hand positions. I think that was kind of a lot to cover. I was really excited because I really like that one. So I kind of wanted to show you all of the 8 inner palms in one go, but it was a lot to learn in one day. So let's go through those again. And I'll just demonstrate again. So our first palm is the green dragon hangs its claws, just like this. Our second is the yellow eagle spreads its wings, hands are up, okay. Third is the golden lion holds the ball. So I'll just kind of go from the side. When we protect our head, we don't want to be here, because if we had an impact and our hand is already here, it's not going to protect us. So we're not way out. But when we protect our head, our hand is just out here somewhere, right? For golden lion holds the ball. And it's the same. We're going to change, we're going to do both sides. Red phoenix circles the mountaintop. It's kind of from golden lion. We will turn our palm towards ourselves and then drop like this, right? Same thing. We're going to do both sides. 5 is striking heaven and piercing earth. So for this one, you've got one arm that's up and one arm that's down. And just like in Tai Chi, our palms are facing the center. So they're opposite, right? And we can practice doing both sides. White ape offers the fruit. So you're just making this nice little cup, this nice little V with your hands here, right? In our arms, again, not too collapsed, not too straight, somewhere in the middle. For the white ape offers the fruit, right? The boy pushes the millstone. So from here, we will go here, right? This looks familiar from our standing meditation, right? The boy pushes the millstone. So if you were going to push against something very heavy, that's kind of our hand positioning for here, right? And then the heavenly horse walks in the void. For Ba Gua, we know that we make our targets like this usually. And for the heavenly horse walks in the void, for our inner palms, our palms are going to face in, okay? And same thing, we're gonna go through and do this on each side. And since this is a review, I don't wanna do as many counts as we did last week. So you have the video to reference. I'm gonna put my little thing to focus in the center. It doesn't matter what you use, or you can imagine that you have a pillar here or a partner that you're joined wrists with, whatever works for you. I like to have a little object to visualize the center of the circle. All right, so we're gonna circle walk, and if you have the space to make a large circle, you can do that. And if you don't, if you have to make a small circle, just remember, if we make a small circle, our inside leg isn't walking as far as our outside leg. And if we start to get dizzy, you can choose to shift your visual focus and to go a little bit slower. But let's go through and do the 8 inner palms, and we can just follow along, starting with the inside leg. All right, we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right now, my eyes are just facing forward, right? As I walk, my eyes are not on the center of the circle. My eyes are just looking forward. My gaze is soft and relaxed and looking down, okay? So this first one is more of sort of a meditation when we're doing that, right? So then when we go to the second position, we're gonna bring our palms up, and this time we will shift our focus. Even though we're gonna walk straight and our arms are open, we are gonna look at our inside hand to bring our focus to the center of the circle, okay? So from inside foot again, looking at your inner palm, step with your inside foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Golden lion holds the ball. We just change our hand here and protect our head. This one is still up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna turn. Let me make sure you can see me on the camera here. From here, we're gonna turn this palm in and just drop down, and we're gonna still focus on that center hand. We're gonna take 8 steps again, starting with the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switching, striking heaven and piercing earth. We have one hand up, one hand down, palms are opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. White ape offers fruit, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The boy pushes the millstone. I'm gonna try and get to where you can see my hands clearly here. The boy pushes the millstone, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're going to switch to heavenly horse walks in the void. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to change directions. So whatever direction you went the first time, switch, and we'll go ahead and go backwards from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know I'm looking at the camera and you're looking at the camera, but when you practice on your own, do try to have your focus at the center of the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have a soft gaze and I just kind of look past my elbow for this one. Now we're going to drop to the Phoenix circles, the mountaintop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it up. Golden line holds the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we look straight ahead as we walk the circle. We just look where we're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And to finish, here we scoop and bring it in. And you can actually do this with a walking step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can take the full 8 counts to do that sweeping motion. So when we start the inner palms, we can start that way. We can start here, or we can start with a walking, sweeping, and it feels really nice to open and close with the same thing sometimes. And we have some other forms in Ba Gua where we kind of start and we do the same thing, right? We'll get to that stuff later, but I just wanted to review what we went over last week. And let's just do that smoothly. I'm not gonna speak this time. We're just gonna do it smoothly. And just remember to start on your inside leg. So when we first learn, we go really slow, but when we do Ba Gua, it's actually at normal walking speed once you kind of get things down. So I hope that that felt different to practice that smoothly and at your own pace. And this is something that's really good to try on your own. And if you need to reference the video a couple times, do it. But if you're going through and you forget your hand position, just try to do it without the video. Try to use your memory and to recall what it is. And don't worry about it too much if you forget something. One of the things in practice is we have this narrative of self-talk when we learn something, when we practice something new. Try to have a little bit of lightheartedness and a little bit of humor if you forget something. And you can do a little bit of fake it till you make it, and then reference the video and correct yourself. But when we're first learning things, it's more important to go through the practice, to go through this walking meditation and to enjoy it than to get everything really right and correct the first time. So go through, do your movement, enjoy it, practice it. And then if you have a question on something, reference the video or send me an email or ask in class. I feel this or I feel that, or if you have a question on where your hand goes or whatever, feel free to ask it. And sometimes the more you practice, you can almost answer some of those things for yourself, or to modify and say, my body's not comfortable if I do it that way. What if I change it just a little bit? So there's a review. And I said, ask questions. So I'll just ask, does anybody have questions on that at the moment? Okay, great. I just encourage you to try some of this on your own and just see how it goes. Okay. Anything else we wanted to see today? All right. I'm the boss, I guess. All right, let's do a little bit of cloud hands. If you put something on your floor, make sure you move it so you don't trip over it. All right. Let's just do a little bit of cloud hands. Start. When we get to one side, our top hand straightens, our bottom hand comes up. So each time we change direction, top hand straightens, bottom hand comes up. We turn, straighten, bottom hand comes up. That's how we change our hands. And even if you do have a big space, I encourage going both directions when we're stepping for cloud hands. Usually we have a dominant side that we prefer, or we're stronger on, or we just sort of default to. I'm probably not going to wake up in the morning and start brushing my teeth with my left hand, but I could. And I would have probably a shift in my focus. It would take some extra concentration, right? I'm very used to brushing my teeth with my right hand. If I change that, I'm going to give my brain an opportunity to shift its focus. And there's a reason that I've been choosing not to teach the form in these classes, and that is I've been choosing these postures that we can repeat over and over again. Again, to not focus so much on doing things correctly, doing it right, but to just enjoy the meditation in motion. and to give a chance to learn things slowly. Let's do some brush knees. So we'll start in a cat stance. Get our ward off arm and our push hand ready to go. We'll step out into our bow stance. Change our hands and our feet. Same thing on the other side. One hand in a ward off, one hand ready to push. Cat stance, bow stance. And when you reach the end of your room, you can change. I'm just gonna use my whole space and I'm gonna switch to repulse monkey. So this time we'll step back with one foot and that hand comes back. Change our palms. I really enjoy practicing like this, using the whole room, or if we can go outside, using the whole space in the yard to do these repeated postures and just take up that space and stretch out. Feels really good to practice this way. And there's wonderful things about learning and practicing forms as well. And that the 8 inner palms is a Ba Gua form that you've learned now. And we can switch back to brush knee. Go forward across the room with brush knee. And if you ever feel like you're getting mixed up, I would not worry so much about your hands and shift your focus back to your feet and your stances, because the stances are where we get our balance in our rooting. Our legs and our stances are our foundation. So if the arms mix you up or confuse you, just go back to your stances or refer back to the videos. I've reached the end, so I'm going to switch back to repulse monkey. We'll go backwards now. Right side goes back, left side pushes. Left side goes back, right side pushes. So I think of this as a same side posture because I end with my foot and my hand on the same side forward. You can practice all the ones we've learned. Let's go to parting wild horse's mane. This one, right, we'll start here. Which hand, to the corner. Hold the ball, cat stance, change your hands. Bow stance to the corner, parting wild horse's mane. Finish to the corner. rock back, change your feet. I end with my attention here, kind of bring my attention inward, step up, and I look where I want to go. So when we're doing these things, we're using mind intent. We're intending, I'm intending to go this way, so I look this direction. I'm going to change. Before I go, my intent is here. This is the direction I want to go. Looking here, and then looking there. That's the direction I'm headed. Now I change. Let's keep going with parting wild horse's mane. Thinking about your intention, thinking about the direction you want to go, your focus. Being intentional and aware with your movements. Look the way I want to go, and then go. I feel like we've neglected Golden Rooster stands on one leg, so let's do a couple of those. We'll just do a lot of review today. Take your time and get centered into your leg before you lift the other one. When we step back, we turn that back foot out to the corner a little bit. Step back, I kind of do a little swing and my waist turns. Step back, now my waist is this way. So even though I'm lifting and facing here, my navel's to the corner. My toe is turned out, navel to the corner, even though I'm looking straight ahead. Be mindful of where your furniture is. Let's do a few more. So my waist is involved in this. Like I said, my focus is forward. My arm and my leg are kind of pointed straight ahead, but my navel's to the corner and my toe is to the corner. Toe and navel to this corner, toe and navel to that corner. And you can feel free to really slow these movements down if you're doing them at home. So for example, brush knees, if you're working on, sorting out your arms and your legs and you're timing for brush knees, you can really slow it down and kind of look and check yourself in a mirror if you have one, or just kind of even look physically at where your feet are on the floor for your stances. Especially when we're first learning, sometimes we're just sort of trying to get there, right? We're just sort of kind of mirroring and just trying to get there. But if you really slow down a brush knee, maybe I stop at the end of my posture and I go, where's my knee? Where's my toe? Is my hand about heart height? Is this arm parallel with this leg? Okay, what am I doing here? I've got one arm in a ward off, one arm ready to push and I step up. Do I have good balance? when I'm in my cat stance? Am I looking back here while my arm's in a ward off? Are my arms in too tight? Are my arms out too here? So we can just slow it down. We don't have to rush through this when we practice at home. We can really slow things down and just check and look. Where are my feet? Where are my arms? And we can kind of break it down step by step. And you can just experiment with that. You can experiment with practice fast, practice slow, practice medium. So as I've said before, it's my hope to give you a lot of different ideas for building your home practice. I love variety. So if we practice the same thing all the time, that's great. That's a habit, that's a routine, but I like to have a little bit of variety in there. All right. That was a lot of review. I know that I had mentioned introducing choice weights, and I think that next week we'll try to make a plan to get to that. That's a really good one. I just didn't feel like introducing more new stuff today. So, all right. Well, I hope everybody's feeling good and warmed up, and like you have something to practice on your own. And you can always email me or shoot me a message with any questions. And thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week. Everyone has a good weekend.
You too. Bye.